Alright, in the previous video we looked at Smart UV Project versus manual UV unwrapping for this tool chest and decided that Smart UV Project was not so bad. And so I am providing this model here. I'll give you the link. You can download it if you want to do this with me. And we're going to do some texturing for real this time. And we'll do as much as we can. We'll probably get the main case done, maybe the lock. And there won't be much more to do. Alright, so let's get UV editing this thing. As you can see, I have one UV space here, so we're starting right from the beginning. Alright, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to Smart UV Project at 0.003, and yeah, that's looking okay. You can see my edges there. I'm going to pack this. I'm going to use UV Pack Master, but you could use Blender, and that's packed. Now I want another tile for the bottom, so for me I'm going to press N and come to view. Otherwise, in a newer version of Blender, it's up here, and you can increase, see this UDIM grid, increase it by 1. I now have 2, and I'm going to come into the bottom. No seams. I'm going to try Smart UV Project on that one. Let's pack that, and I'm going to move that GX1. So I now would have both of those, and I can turn off this display stretch. I now have 2 of those there, and then we're going to come in and let's have a look at, let's try just let's try Smart UV Project that. I could have that as a separate one. Okay, let's pack that. And I need another UV tile, so I'm going to come up, I'm going to create a couple more, maybe a total of 5. I'm going to do GX2. So that's in there, and I packed it. Okay, and then maybe we'll have the lock separate. Let's try Smart UV Project. I mean, I could cut this up pretty easily, but let's see how that does. So let's go pack GX. How is that 4? Let's see where we're at. Okay. I'll put the other stuff in there. So that leaves just this thing and that thing. So let's try it. Yeah, I mean, that cylinder gets chopped up pretty good, but that doesn't really matter. And that's GX3. I think we have everything now. Everybody is packed in there. Oh, that looks a little bit like I have some overlap there. So what have I got going on here? I forgot the feet, that's why. Okay, we'll put the feet in with this maybe. Oh, how about that? I chose the right one anyhow. Pack that. Let's see if I got everybody now. So that's all Smart UV Project using multiple UV tiles or UDIMs or whatever. I'm going to take this now and export it as an FBX. The only thing that I didn't tell you is that I have material on here. I've got tool chest main and I have lock. So it's either tool chest lock or everything else is tool chest main. And here I've got tool chest lock. I'm going to call this tool chest main. So I've got 2 materials on there with the associated UV tiles. Alright, so we're going to start working on this thing here. Okay, the first thing to do is to bake the mesh maps. So come up here, we'll scroll down, bake mesh maps. I'm going to do this at 2K, uncheck ID. I'm not going to change anything else, anti-aliasing or anything. We're just going to do this, and it's going to take a little while, but as it goes through, we won't watch the whole thing. Just notice we've got some nice small squares on some of this and slightly larger ones, but we have some decent resolution to work with. Alright, here we go. The mesh maps are baked, and we have a quick look at this. Alright, so here we go. Let's come over to the layers and get rid of that one. Let's make sure we're on that first layer here. I'm going to add a fill, and I come into the properties, and I'm going to increase the metallic all the way up, and I'm going to take the color and just knock it down to about halfway for our first part here. Okay, I'm going to add a filter, and in the properties I'm going to search for this matte finish. It's the last one, matte finish rough. Click on that, let that load, and you can see what that's done. I'll bring the grunge scale up to about 5, and we'll bring down the intensity to about 0.3 or so. So that just gives us some underlying sort of metal texture. All right, so let's label that as metal. We'll create another fill layer. We're going to call this one paint, so we'll have paint and metal. And the first thing we'll do is change this to a reddish kind of a color. Something like that. This can be changed later. All right, and I'm going to drop the roughness down to about 0.25, and you can see, you know, the underlying metal texture. So let's add a black mask and a generator, and that generator is going to be this metal edges. Let's click that, and we have this result. But this is not what we want. We're going to invert the mask, and now we start seeing more of what we want. All right, so let's increase the contrast, maybe play with the wear level until we get something like that. I'm going to do some more here. Let's adjust the grunge scale. Let's play with that. Grunge amount. Okay, that's looking all right to me to start with. Let's make this look a little bit more like paint by adding some height here. Let's make this 0.025 maybe. Now we're only at 1K resolution, so we'll increase the resolution later, and that will help us. Okay. All right, so that looks cool. We've got the metal edges there. We're going to add some more stuff here. Okay, we're going to add, let's see, we're going to add a fill. And I'll come to the properties, and I'm going to search for a grunge map 04. Let's try that, grunge map 004. All right, now I'm a little bit limited in what grunges I have. There's a lot. This is Substance Painter 2019, I believe. So I'm going to drag that in here. And what I want to do is I want to invert this as well. I'm going to invert that, and I'm going to play with the size and the scale and the balance. So let's try maybe 2. Let's see. I just want some chunks out of that, and we'll see if we like this. You can try different grunges. Let's see. Let's try this one. No, that's not going to do it. Say I try that. Let's try planar. Yeah. Just to have a few things here and there. Now you'll notice that my other layer, my edge wear, is gone, and so we're going to fix that by coming over here and turning this to multiply. And now I'll have both of them, and you get that depth. So, you know, the case has got some chips out of it. Okay, we'll start with that. I just want to see how it's going on the handle. I like this. So let's see, we're going to add a fill layer right here. I'm going to call this rust. And I'm going to come in, and in my materials, I'm going to search for rust. This will be a default one. This rust fine, I'm going to drop that into the base color. So now it's very shiny and it's all over the model. I'm going to increase the roughness to about 0.8 or so. Okay. And then I'll add a black mask. And in the smart masks, I'm going to search for rust. And I'll try this edge rust. Drag that in. And let's click on this first layer here and decrease the balance. Just take it way down, just so that there's just a hint of it in there on the model. Let's try triplanar, just see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm getting it on here and sort of in the crevices a little bit. It's just going to add a bit of damage to the model. All right, so we've got that. Let's add on here. Let's add a generator and dirt, and we can see the dirt level there. I do want a good amount of dirt on this. I'm going to start with it there. It's about 0.7. If we come back here, and this is my grunge here, I can't see it once again. So I've got this here, and I'm going to switch this one now to linear dodge, and that's going to allow both the rust and the dirt to come through. And I'll come back to my rust, and I'll just, decrease it a bit. I just want it there, mixing in with the dirt. And because this is a tool chest that's been used in the sewers and stuff, there's going to be a little bit more dirt than if this was just in somebody's garage holding their car tools or something like that. Okay, so this is what it's starting to look like. But it's all pretty uniform in its shininess or its dullness. So we're going to add some roughness variation here. All right, so we're just building up the layers here. I'm going to add a fill layer and call this roughness variation. And because I'm dealing with roughness in the properties, all I need is the roughness channel. So I'm just going to alt click that. And now I'm just dealing with roughness. And now if I pull this up, it'll just globally affect everything. Really shiny to really dull. All right, I'm going to set this around 0.2. And then I'm going to add a black mask. And I'm going to add a fill. And I'm going to drop something on the grayscale. Let's try that grunge map 007. So let's try this one. Drop that in there. And it's a subtle thing. All right, play with the contrast, play with the balance a little bit. You can see as I do this, it does something. So I'll come back here. It just breaks up the roughness. Some areas are shinier than others. And if I turn it on and off, right here, instead of just uniformly dull or shiny, it does this. All right, it just gives the model some more realism, some more life. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to add one more fill layer. I'm going to add a black mask and a fill. And I want to add some more dots. I'm going to try this one. I think again, 004. I'm going to bring that in. But let's have this only affect the height. And let's try right now 0.02 for the moment. Let's try 0.2. Just so we start to see them. Okay. This is going to be, I don't know what you call this, grain or something. All right, I'll go for 18. So we see it all over the place. All right. And I'll change this now to 0.02. Try that. Just for the moment, I just want a hint of it there. That's probably still too much. Probably gonna leave those around there. So let's actually make this 0.01 in the height. Or 0.005 actually. You can see it where there's some light here. I'm going to bring that up. 0.008. Now you know what? Just to accentuate it, I'll make it 0.01. So you start to see those coming through. If you want to, you could try planar, see if you get a better result. I don't think it'll matter that much. Okay, now that is the main chest part. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to, and I may want to go back and look at my edge wear. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to look at this and just do that. Okay, I think I'm going to like that a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to turn our attention now to the lock. So I'm going to switch over to the lock layer. And I'm going to do something pretty simple and similar as well. Fill layer. Drop the color a little bit. Metallic. Filter, and we'll use this matte finish again. We'll increase the grunge scale a bit, decrease the intensity. Something like that. Okay, so I've got that. That's going to be metal. And let's make another fill layer, leave it on white. Let's put on a black mask and do a generator and do metal edges. And we'll get this. Let's take down the wear line. I just want a hint of this around here. Let's play with the grunge. Okay, we're going to break that up in a bit. Play with these values and see how you like what you get. Just want a little bit of that there. And this is metal edges. We could try adding another filter in here. We could try the blur filter. You know what? Now let's use blur slope. And let's see if we break that up. No, maybe we'll just decrease that so that it's there. Okay, now let's add some rust on this as well. Create a new layer. We'll drag that into the base color. We'll increase the roughness. We'll add a black mask and a fill to that, and I'll break it up using a smart mask actually. Let's get rid of that. Use a smart mask. Rust. We'll try this edge rust again, see how well it works. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to try a different one, rust ground. And I just want it all over the place more. Just like that. Just a bit of rust here and there, like that. Okay, cool. I like that. So this is going to be rust. But on here, I'm also going to add a generator. We're going to add a dirt generator. And we're going to do that. And let's see. Let's try this. And of course, now we also have to blend these. So linear dodge add. So we'll get some of that in there. That's looking good to me. And let's try some scratches on this one. Let's add a fill layer. Let's just use height. Let's drop this down a little bit. And we'll add a black mask. And to that, we'll add a fill. Open that up. And on the grayscale, we'll come to procedurals and scratches. We'll drag this in. And we'll start getting some scratches. Because, you know, this, you know, your key is going to be hitting this a lot. Let's increase the tiling. Maybe decrease that a bit. Okay. Yeah, okay. Something like that. And that is my lock. Alright, so that gives me the handle, the lock, the box. All I'm missing are some stickers, and I think we'll do that in the next video. But let's now up the resolution to 2K. Okay, let's go full screen. Let's change something here. We'll add anti-aliasing. I won't mess with the color profiles or anything, but just to show you what it looks like in the end. Okay, an old weathered case. I do need some stickers on there. So hopefully if you do this with me, you'll get a similar result, or you'll get a result that you like as you try different grunge maps and different colors and you know, adjust things to your liking. Alright, so like I said, next time we'll put the stickers in it, and then we'll start working on that wrench and getting these things together. Thanks for watching.